Alright, so in this training video, I'm going to show you how you can create your user accounts, suspend your user accounts, unsuspend your user accounts, and delete your user accounts, and upgrade them through our API without having to do it manually, okay? So in the last video, I showed you how to do everything manually. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually go in and use our API so that you can do all this manually, so that whenever somebody buys something from you, you don't actually have to log into the platform. You don't have to create their accounts. If their payment fails, you don't have to log into the platform. You don't have to suspend their account. If they decide to cancel their account, you don't have to log into the platform and delete their account or suspend their account, because you can do everything automatically by using our APIs. So to use our APIs, all you're going to do is you're going to click right up here where it says API settings. You're just going to click on our API settings, okay? So now once you've clicked on our API settings, a few things that you need to know. Over here on this right-hand side, right here, you will see a drop-down which will have access to all the different extensions that you actually have access to. All right, so I'm going to try to just do something real quick just because my computer screen is in the way just a little bit. My computer screen is in the way just a little bit, and I don't want to use my Surface Book here, and I really don't want to move this because then it will make it hard for me to see. So anyways, I'm just going to do this. Bear with me. This is an improv training. All right. So there we go. Now you can see. All right. So I only have, in this training account, I only have access to one extension, so I can only see one extension here. But if you scroll down and you look over here at this information over here, you'll see that there is an extension token, okay? This token represents the extension that you're going to be adding a user to. You're going to need that in the API settings. So this extension token actually exists for ClickFunnels Easy Page Cloner. If you have access to other softwares and other extensions that you've bought access to be able to sell those softwares or give them away as lead magnets or use them as bonus to your affiliate offers or whatever it is that you want to do with all these softwares, you'll see those in the drop down. So if you're not wanting to use ClickFunnels Easy Pager and you're wanting to use some other software, you'll just click on that other software and it will replace all the information that you need for your API, okay? But no matter what the software, you're literally going to use the API exactly the same. So now up here in the API, you can see an API that is going to be for adding a user or updating them and changing them from one plan level to another plan level. Like if you want to upgrade them or if you want to downgrade them, you're going to use the add update user. If you want to suspend their account so they can't log in, maybe they didn't pay this month. So there's the API. You're just going to click on that. That will give you all the API information to suspend their account. To unsuspend their account, you're just going to use this. If you had to suspend them because they didn't pay and then they ended up paying, you can unsuspend their account. If you want to delete them for some reason, maybe they canceled, so you want to delete them, you can use the delete API. So we're going to use this add and update. And what we're going to do is the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to copy this webhook. So we're just going to copy this webhook. Now, you can use this API in any platform. You can literally have your developer build it right into your application. If you're using WordPress, you can use a WordPress plugin to call APIs. You can use Integromat. You can use Pabbly. You could use ClickFunnels webhooks. For this demo, the way that you use our API is always going to be the same. For this demo, we're going to use Zapier, which is an automation platform that also allows us to make API calls and automate a bunch of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially use Zapier. So I'm going to come in here to Zapier and I'm going to actually create an account. Okay, and I'm also going to create some Google Sheet. Okay. Let's create us a Google Sheet. I'm going to create a new Google Sheet, and this is going to be called Demo, API Demo. And then here we're just going to put email. Okay. So now I'm going to come into Zapier. I'm going to create a new Zap, and this is just going to be, so again, this is going to be called API demo for my Zap. I'm going to listen. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to use this Google Sheet and pretend that it's a payment. Whenever someone gets added to this Google Sheet, essentially they've made a payment and they've bought ClickFunnels Easy Page Cloner, the software that I want to automate creating their account for. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. But you could use Zapier to tie into ClickFunnels, you could tie into Kartra, anything that you want. Okay, so I don't want you guys to get stuck on the trigger up here, because whatever the trigger is going to really depend on you and your sales process and how you're wanting to create accounts. What I want you to focus on is how I'm using the API, because no matter what platform that you use, you're going to essentially do the same thing for the API. Okay, so we're just going to basically say when there's a new spreadsheet row that happens here, then we want to we want to call our API. So we're going to pick our spreadsheet here, API demo. We're going to pick our worksheet. We're going to hit continue. And then this we're just going to put as sheets@gmail.com for the email. Test our trigger. Now we're going to see we got that data here. So we're going to hit continue. We're going to use an action here, and this action is going to be webhooks by Zapier. And what we want to do here is we want to make a post request. Okay? So regardless of what platform you guys are using, whether you're using Zapier or Pabbly or Integromat, you want to make a post request. That's how you're going to hit our API. You're going to make a post request. So we're going to pick post request here. I like to use Zapier because from all the different platforms, it's just the easiest to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy our webhook URL, which is our API URL. And we're just going to literally put that in where it says URL. See, it says URL. We're going to put that in. Now, when you send data to our webhook, it needs to be formatted as a JSON object, a JavaScript object notation. So it needs to be formatted in a specific way. The data needs to be sent a very specific way, and that way is as a JSON object. So you can see here in Zapier, it asks for your payload type, and it says form. We want to switch this from form to JSON because we want this to be a JSON object, JavaScript object notation. Okay, it's just a special way that data is actually presented, so we want to use that JSON object. Now you can see here that we have some data fields. Okay, so we're going to get our data fields from Kyubi, and you can see here's all our data fields right here. These are the data fields, and you can see up here it tells you what data fields are required and what data fields are optional. All right, so it says we need our token. So we have our own token, and that token is basically our secret key. And then we are also going to need the person's email address, and we're going to need the extension token. So I'm just going to put my token in here. I need the person's email address, so I'm going to put their email address in here. I'm going to get their email address from my previous step. So this step right here is listening, and whenever a new email address comes in here, I'm going to use that email address right down here. So I'm going to pick the email. Picked it. I'm going to add one more field. I'm going to come back over here to Kyubi, and it says I also need the extension token. So remember, the extension token is unique for every single extension. So if you're not wanting to add somebody to ClickFunnels Easy Page Cloner and you're wanting to add them to a different software, then you're essentially going to click on that and you're going to pick your other software, and that is going to change what your extension token is for your API so that they're added to the right extension. For this training, I only have access to one extension, so I can't really mess it up. All right, so I'm going to grab this extension token, and then I'm going to grab the actual token, okay? So here are my 3 data fields that I need. You can see again in Kyubi, it tells me what things are required. Everything else was optional, so I'm not going to give it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit continue. And then I'm going to hit test and review. Okay, now I'll come over here to Kyubi. I'll go back to my user list. And you can see this other user right here, this Sheets at Gmail, has been added automatically. We didn't have to do anything. They were added automatically. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's just turn this on. So we've turned our automation on in Zapier. So what that means is virtually instantly, as someone gets added to our new Google spreadsheet, which again, this is just a demo and it's just a training, so you're probably not going to do it this way. You're probably going to listen to some payment being made, but I'm just pretending that if somebody gets added to this Google spreadsheet, then they've opted in or they've purchased, or because they're on that Google spreadsheet, I need to call the API. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh my gosh, hold on. That was not good. That was very unexpected. That was very unexpected, and also looks like my light went off. Alright, sorry about that. My camera decided to shut off to save its battery life. Alright, so everything's automated now, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add something else, and this is just going to say sheets17@gmail.com. So now, as soon as somebody's actually been added there, because I set up the Zapier integration, Zapier is going to listen to the new thing getting added to the spreadsheet, and when the new thing gets added to the spreadsheet, it's going to call the Kyubi API that we set up, which is in turn going to actually create the user account right here inside Kyubi automatically without us having to do anything. Now, this hasn't been created yet. As you can see, it's not created yet. And the reason that it's not created yet is because if we look over here at our Zap history, this has not ran yet. Okay? So we're still waiting on Zapier to catch up and to hear that a new piece of data has been added to the spreadsheet for it to go in and actually create our user account. But this is exactly how you'll do everything. As soon as Zapier listens, sometimes this takes up to 5 minutes. Sometimes this takes up to 5 minutes for Zapier to, once you turn your automation on, for Zapier to actually start listening to everything and for it to actually, for it to run and for it to actually start being automated. So I can see that Zapier still hasn't heard our new user. Okay, so now we're just waiting for Zapier, excuse me, to hear our new user. And whenever Zapier hears our new user, like I said, they'll be created automatically inside Kyubi. So we've used our API and we've used the add user API. So as soon as this actually, Zap decides he wants to run, then our user will be added inside there. And then I'll show you how you can go in and actually use the plan levels. So here's our new new person. But like I said, Zapier just hasn't heard this yet. Again, I can easily check that because I'm just looking at the history inside Zapier to see, has this ran at all? And it hasn't ran at all. So I just want to make sure that I've picked the right thing. And I didn't. I wanted to pick this one right here. I wanted to pick this one. Sorry, I picked the wrong thing. So let me pick the right thing. Just bear with me, okay? Let's turn it on now. Now let's turn it on and let's try it again. So now our Zap is turned on. Great. If we look back over here, we can see that our account's set up. We have 3 accounts set up now. So just to make this easier, I'm going to go in and delete these other accounts because we don't actually need them anymore. So I'm going to delete them, and this will just make it easier for you to see what's happening here. So let's delete these. Now we're going to come over here, and then I'm just going to put FB Live Demo at demo.com. Okay, so I've added this email address, fblivedemo at demo.com, pretending like this person has just purchased the software and we want to automate their account getting created. And since they were added to this Google spreadsheet, we have our automation. We're going to check and see, hey, has this automation actually ran? Still hasn't ran for some reason. I don't know why it hasn't actually. I don't know why it hasn't actually ran, to be honest. But again, we can always make it happen manually, and I'll show you how to make it actually happen manually. So your automation will run. For some reason, Zapier isn't actually doing it, but that has nothing to do with our actual API. If you want to make sure that it's actually running and see the API working, then all we're essentially going to do is we're going to grab the data from Zapier, and we're going to trigger this. We're going to trigger this API automatically, okay? So we're just going to force Zapier to send data to our API so you can see how our API is actually working, all right? So we've got this set up here, and then we're just going to essentially hit this to test this, and you can see you even get a message here that lets you know that the end user has been created successfully, and whenever we come over here to Zapier, you'll see there's your end user, okay? Now, if you want to update, remember, if this person decides to now go in tomorrow and buy the upgrade, you can use this same API to do your upgrade. If you remember, it says add updated user. So if you want to update them, then you're just going to actually hit the same API. You're just going to give the updated information, okay? So the updated information we're going to give in this example is we're going to now include our plan. So if you remember, for this extension, we have 2 different plans. We have the basic and the platinum. The thing that you need to remember is the plans are called one thing for the users, and Kyubi labels them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you're not sure what they are, just click on the plan, and then you can see in the API that the platinum plan is plan level 2, and that the basic plan is plan level 1. All right? So we're going to actually put this person on plan level 2. So we're going to come back over here to Zapier, and we're just going to basically change this, and we're going to add a plan, and then we're going to put plan level 2. Okay? So now we're calling the API, and we're actually putting this person on a plan level 2. Instead of being on the basic plan, they're going to now be on the platinum plan. And you can see this person already exists. So the person already exists here. It's this FB Live demo right here. And you can see they're on basic plan. So let's go back over here. And let's just retest this. And you can see a message right here says user updated successfully. So let's go back over here and check in Kyubi and see if they went from a basic plan to a platinum plan. Now they're platinum. Now you see they're active over here. Well, again, there's an API. If you need to suspend them, you can use an API to essentially suspend them. So we're going to use that API. We're just going to come over here to the suspend user, and we're going to grab this webhook here. It's different than the webhook here. You can see this webhook is create extension user. This webhook is suspend extension user. So we're going to grab this, and we're going to put this over here, and we're just going to replace that URL, and we're going to look at what we needed. What we needed was our token and their email. Okay, so we needed the token, email, and extension token. All right, and you can see there's a message here, and the message says You're required to give your token and you're required to give their email. You are not required to give the extension token. But if you don't give the extension token, they will be suspended from all extensions that you've added them to. So maybe you have access to 3 different extensions and you've created an account for them on 3 different extensions. If you give the extension token, they will only be suspended on that extension. If you don't give the extension token, they will be suspended on all extensions. So you need to keep that in mind. We are, however, going to give the extension token, and in fact, we've already given it. We just need to remove our plan here. And if we come over here in Kyubi, you can see that our extension user is active. They're an active user, but we've updated our API to be the Suspend API. So now we're just going to continue, and we're going to test. We're going to send data to the API. Again, this will happen automatically once you have your automation set up. We're just forcing it to happen through the testing so that we don't have to wait for the automations to trigger, because I'm trying to make this fast for you so you're not here watching a weird guy with a dumb hat for the next hour, okay? So we've already forced it, and you can see a message. It says, user has been suspended successfully. Now if we look over here, currently they are active. Now they're inactive. See? They just got suspended. All right? Now, if you need to unsuspend them, so you can use this API. You can tie into Stripe or whatever your payment processor is, and if their payment fails, then you can listen to their payment failing as a trigger. So you could just come up here. You can change this to Stripe, and you can listen to a payment failure, and whenever that payment fails, then you can call our API, suspend their user account. It's all automated for you. Okay? And then if their payment, you can listen to see if their payment happens again. And if their payment happens, you can use the Unsuspend API, which we're going to do right now, and you can unsuspend their account. So we're just going to grab the API for Unsuspend. We're going to copy that API, and we're going to paste it over here in the same spot we've been putting all our APIs and the URL. We're going to come back over here to Kyubi. You can see the required fields again are token and email. You don't have to put in the extension token, but it tells you if you don't put in the extension token, your user will be unsuspended from any extension that you've given them access to, that they're suspended. So again, if you have 3 extensions and you've created the user on 3 different extensions and their payment failed for 2 of them, so you suspended them, and then for one of them, their payment then happens, so you need to unsuspend them. If you don't give the extension token, when you use the Unsuspend API, they will be unsuspended from all extensions. So if you want to make sure you're only unsuspending them or you're only suspending them for specific extensions, you need to give the extension tokens, okay? We've already given the extension tokens, so we don't need to do anything. We just need to change that API from suspend to unsuspend. Again, you can look inside Kyubi. You can see our user. You can see our user. He's inactive. He's inactive. All right, so let's make him active. Let's call our API, our unsuspend API. Again, this is meant so that you can automate everything. We're forcing it to happen manual just so that this video will be faster and we don't actually have to wait for the automations to trigger. Okay, so let's retest it. Retesting, and you can see a message here, end user is suspended successfully. Let's refresh this, and you can see now they're active. Okay, so now they're active. So we've used our add update user API, so we've added a user, we've updated them, okay, and we can update them again. We're going to go ahead and update them again. All right, so let's use that update again, just so you can see that it works both ways. We're going to grab this, and right now you can look at our user, and you can see our user is on the Platinum plan. He's on the Platinum plan. He's a big spender. All right, so let's update our API, and then let's update our plan. And let's put him back on level 1 because he canceled the upgrade. He downgraded because he ran out of money or whatever. So We're going to go ahead and upgrade them. We're going to update the user, and we're going to move them from plan 2 back to down 1. We've already moved them from plan 1 up to 2. Now we're going to move them back down. And you can see that he's been updated successfully. And you can see he's on a platinum plan right now. If we refresh, he's on basic. Okay. Now we have one more API to use, and then we're done. So now we have the delete user API. If you want to get rid of them, they canceled, they're done, you hate them, they hate you. All right, let's grab our API. And let's come over here. Let's replace our API. And let's see what required fields that we need. And it says required fields are token, email, and extension token. Okay. So we've got token, email, and extension token. We'll get rid of plan. We're going to continue. And look, just for the reference, over here in our users, we've got one user. Do you see? We got one user. We got one user, y'all. Yeah. All right. So let's get rid of our one user. Let's get rid of our customer. Let's have a moment of silence while we get rid of our customer. They died. Rest in peace. All right, so we've called our API. It says end user is removed successfully. So let's come over here. They're gone. They're gone. So now you've used all of our APIs. So now you know how to create your users manually, how to suspend them, how to unsuspend them, how to delete them, how to upgrade them from one plan to the higher plan, how to take them from the higher plan to the lower plan. You know how to do all that manually. You also now know how to do that through our APIs. Okay? The only other thing I want to let you know that I think that you need training on, I don't think you need training on any of this information here. You may want training on this upload CSV, but this is fairly straightforward. You're literally just going to click the button. And here, if you have, let's say people have already bought a bunch of stuff from you and you didn't have stuff set up and you don't want to do it manually, you can just upload a whole list. So let's say you already have an email list full of people and you want to give them ClickFunnels Easy Page Cloner for free. You can just download your list of emails. We're going to give you a sample file, so just click this thing right here that says download sample file. We're going to give you that sample file, and then you're just going to actually open this sample file. So I'm going to open upload. I'm going to just open this in Google Sheets because I don't have any Microsoft products installed on this computer because I just set it up for my studio. So now you can see our sample file that we're just have their name, their last name, their email, and their phone, okay? So you can just take that sample file. I'm going to go ahead and upload it. I'm going to just upload the same file that we just got, the sample CSV. Then you're just going to pick, okay, hey, what extension do you want to give them access to? If you have access to multiple extensions, you can do multiple extensions and select the plan. So we're going to give these guys all basic access. And then we're going to click this button right here, and then we're going to hit submit. That will upload our file, and then all these users will now have accounts. We've just created all their accounts in bulk. Woohoo! Look at that. See? There they are. They all have accounts. This was just the data from that sample file. All right? So I don't think you need training on anything else. I think you understand how to do everything now if you've watched these 2 videos. The only other thing that I would recommend to you is just look up here at the top from time to time, because there's always offers from us on new softwares that you can partner with so that you can sell. There's offers from other CEOs that are actually using Kyubi and that are developing their own Chrome extensions that are looking for reseller partners like you who get to actually sell the software and keep all the revenue. So if you just look up here from time to time, you'll see amazing offers like this one where you can get Grammy Whammy, Winner Winner Chicken Dinner, Friend Disconnector, Post Scheduler, Group Monkey, 500 accounts on each of those softwares. Okay, so just keep a lookout for those in case you're looking for new software that you can sell to people.